are struggling to stay productive and focused throughout the day, you may like these tips that I'm going to share with you today, because procrastination can be a very annoying thing. I know that myself. So these tips and different techniques that I have been trying have been working very well for me, and it may work for you as well. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So before you do anything, any kind of try techniques and tips, I think the main thing and the main focus is what's happening in your head. If as soon as you wake up and you feel stressed, whether it's from the night before someone made you angry, agitated, or stressed in some sort of way, then you wake up with that feeling and with that thought about that thing that what stressed you out, then you cannot move forward with your day. You probably can agree with me. When you feel stressed and agitated, as soon as you wake up, all you think is about that thing, and you can't stay productive or focus on your tasks and get things done. Yes, you may get productive because you can force yourself, but there is so much and for so long that you can actually fake throughout the day that you are okay when you're truly not okay. But putting that focus on the things that you want is so difficult when you feel stressed. And I know myself, I struggle to focus on the things that I want to focus and I need to focus, because there's something at the back of my head from the previous day that I'm still holding on to it. So I think it's so important to just declutter your mind and let your mind be free from all the stresses. So the first thing I like to do is to eliminate any stresses that I may have lingering around. Tip number 2 is to have enough sleep overnight and have a quality sleep. So even if you sleep for 4 or 5 hours, as long as you slept throughout those hours without any interruption, so meaning you didn't go to the toilet, you didn't wake up to have a drink, or you didn't answer your phone, maybe someone called you in the middle of the night or texted you, or anything like that, that you might have woken up within those 4 or 5 hours, let's say, then you would have not had those continuous hours that you were asleep, you were interrupted. So you may think that you slept for 4 or 5 hours, but you actually only slept for 1 hour, let's say, or 2 hours. So you don't have to have very long period of time of sleep in order to feel rested on the next day and have energy. I don't know if you can relate to this, but it has happened to me so many times where I slept for 8 or 9 hours, well, at least that's what I thought, and physically I was in bed for those 8-9 hours, but actually my sleep pattern was constantly interrupted and I felt so restless on the next day. I literally remember waking up in the morning and wanting to go back to sleep because I was feeling so tired, and I did not understand why until I started looking into my sleep patterns and trying to understand how much I need to sleep, because everyone is different. For me, it might be enough 5 hours, but for you may not be enough. You may need 7 hours, 8 hours, or 9 hours. It depends on each individual how much you need sleep. Tip number 3 is to simplify your morning routine. So whatever you do in the morning, try not to cramp everything in one go. Leave that energy throughout the day. So do certain tasks or do at least essential things that you need to get done, then do those things. Don't try to do everything in the morning, because if you do that, then you will feel less energetic throughout the day. However, everyone is different. I am more energetic in the morning and I like to get things done in the morning, especially from early morning up to 4 p.m. After that, my energy just goes down, but you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. in order to be productive and focused throughout the day. You need to find your time, what works for you. I have tried different times and different type of morning routines until I found what works for me. Even until this day, my morning routines vary. So each day it will be different what I do, but I always have a key habit that I follow through every single morning in order to give me that boost of energy. And what I do, I visualize each step what I'm going to do, and that helps me to get up and do those things, and I just focus on one thing. And I think when you try to eliminate all the external things, what's happening around and the things that you would like to do tomorrow or what you did yesterday, and you're just focusing right now what you need to do, then your focus stays, and of course then naturally you're going to be productive because you get up and do that thing that you need to do. My tip number 4 is to be conscious of the things that you consume. So be aware of the things that you put in your body. So what you drink, what you eat, do your own research and check the ingredients, see whether they're good for you or not. Because at the end of the day, we have to care for our bodies, because these bodies will carry us for the rest of our lives. So it's not a bin that you just chuck anything, whatever you want. I know it requires a little bit of time and it requires a little bit of energy to do research before you consume something, but honestly it will do good for you, because what you put in your body, it will depend how productive you will be and how focused you will be as well. So I used to take coffee quite a lot, so there was a lot of caffeine consumption throughout my day, and honestly I experienced the worst caffeine crash. And if you're not familiar what caffeine crash is where you feel very agitated, you can feel stress, unease, you can feel nervous, get headaches, and I experienced all of those caffeine side effects. Is because I was quite dehydrated, and caffeine dehydrates you, so I didn't feel relaxed, I felt unease, and of course it did not help me with my productivity or staying focused. So recently I introduced a productivity shot into my daily routine called Magic Mind. So what it does, it gives you more energy, it boosts your focus, and it eliminates that procrastination that we get on a daily basis. You feel more relaxed and it helps you to feel less stressed as well. So by doing my own research, I was pretty impressed with the ingredients that it has in it. And the main thing that why it works, because it has nootropics in it. And just in case if you're not familiar what nootropics are, they're basically cognitive enhancers that helps you to be more alert and more aware, which I think is pretty amazing. That is all in this drink. So I was pretty impressed and I thought I'll give a go and try. So I tried for 4 days now. I've been taking to work or before work. And what I've noticed that my energy level stayed the same. And the main thing, I actually stayed relaxed and less stressed, because working for 12 hours is very tiring, as you probably can imagine, and it can be very stressful. But my productivity level stayed the same and I was so productive, and I didn't get tired and I didn't get that crash that I usually do after 4 p.m. That's like my normal peak where I get so energetic from morning to 4 p.m. and then straight after 4 p.m. my energy just goes down, and it didn't. It stayed exactly the same. So I think it is to do because I have been taking this drink, but of course I will see how it goes, because I do need to try for a little longer to see if it actually truly works. But so far so good. And with the taste, I found it that it's quite bitter, so it's not my favorite, but it has a matcha taste, which I like matcha tea. One of the ingredients is matcha, so probably that's what I could taste. So it has a little kick, a little oomph when you drink it, and you can feel at the back of your throat afterwards. But the main thing for me, as long as it does what it claims it's going to do, and because it's not for actually enjoyment of just drinking and sipping on the drink. So that's not a major thing for me at all. And if you are interested and you would like to try, then I will leave a link below and you can check it out. And also, if you don't like the product, then they refund the money 100% with no questions asked, which I think is pretty fair. You can use my code UGNEMAL20 and get up to 56% off your first subscription for the next 10 days. My tip number 5 is to watch what you're eating and how much you're eating. So in the morning especially, try not to overeat or eat a big meal, because when you do that, you probably can relate. Let me know if you can or you can't, that when you eat a big breakfast in the morning, then you suddenly feel tired and you feel like you need to go have a nap and you're not as productive. And also, when you eat a big meal, then your body or your digestive system concentrates on the food. So it's so hard to put a focus on something else when you have a full tummy and your body is trying to digest your food, and lots of concentration and the blood flow goes into your stomach because that's where it needs the most attention at that time. So if you're trying to concentrate on something else as well, it's going to be very difficult. And a lot of times, if I eat a big breakfast in the morning, or as soon as I kind of have my morning routine and I eat breakfast, I feel very tired afterwards and I feel like I want to have a nap and lie down. So try to avoid that in order to stay productive and so you can focus. Maybe move your meal times more further along the day, maybe around 10 or 11 or 12. That's at least what I do, and it works best for me. Some days I eat at 1 o'clock or 2 p.m. in the afternoon, my first meal, and it works very well for me. So have a go and give a try and see if that will make a change for you as well. My tip number 6 is to focus at one thing at a time. So whatever you do, just focus on one task that you need to do. I know there is a lot of things that we want to do in the day and we want to achieve, but if you focus on everything, well, you won't be able to put focus everywhere. You end up not doing much and you feel then not so good, and then you can't be as productive. So this has been a big game changer for me. I just do one thing that I need to do and I just focus on that one thing. Because if you have too many things happening, our brain just cannot deal with multitasking. Even though I know that we as humans, we think that we can multitask, and yes we can, but we're not going to do a good job if we're focusing on everything at the same time. So just focus on one thing and you will feel much better. And once you achieve that task, then you can move on to another one, and you're more likely to move on to another one because you have achieved one already. So that's where the productivity comes in as well. So my tip number 7, to be present at all times. Whatever you do, be present. Focus on the thing that you're doing right now. But if you are present right now, then you're more likely to be productive, and of course your focus is going to be on that thing that you're doing now. Because if you concentrate on anything else around you, or what happened yesterday or what will happen tomorrow, then it's going to be very difficult for you to focus and achieve things. So just focus on where you are right now, what you're smelling, what you're touching, what you're seeing, and the thing that you need to do right now. And that's when you're more likely to be productive, by being present. Forget about everything else was happening, and it's easier said than done. And I practice this daily, being present and not be somewhere else, because at the end of the day, all it matters that you are here and what you're doing right now. So for me, this has been the only way that I can focus, by being present. There's no any other way. My tip number 8, limit your time on social media and phone time as well. We spend so much time on our phones, and especially social media. Even if you don't want to, you feel like you get dragged into it and you end up scrolling and scrolling non-stop. do something else other than that and put a limit, maybe put a timer, put the phone away from you. That's what I have been doing. I've been very conscious and aware how much I spend my time on social media, and I do not give my time to social media, unnecessary time, unless there is a purpose that I need to go on it. And I think social media can be great in many ways, but I also think it can be very toxic as well in many ways. So limit the time that you are on social media and limit the time that you are on the phone. And honestly, you will see how creative you can become without your phone, and the things that you can do and the things can fill your time instead of being constantly on your phone. I find very difficult to focus and concentrate and be productive if I'm on my phone, because after literally 15 minutes I realized that I've been on the phone for 15 minutes and I didn't even realize. Even though 15 minutes is not a lot, but how many of us end up spending 1 hour, 2 hours, and then I look back and I think, wow, I could have done something better than just looking through this stuff and through my phone. And whatever you do, if you have gaps and then you go on the phone, don't you ever find that something that can take you 1 hour to do, you end up doing 4 hours. You spend your time 4 hours instead of 1 hour, because you've been wasting your time on social media and checking out how everyone else's life is doing and what everyone else is doing, instead of focusing on where you are and what you need to do. So I think that limiting social media or phone time overall is crucial, especially nowadays. I hope you enjoyed this video today and you gained some value. So thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet and you would like to be notified when my videos come out, then be sure you subscribe so you can be notified. Thank you so much for watching again, and bye bye for now.